PJ, you guys are divisional champs. How does that feel? Because I know you've never been in this position before in the NBA.
Feels great. I mean, 50 wins. It's an exciting thing in this league. I mean, it's not done by too many teams. So for us to be able to get 50 wins and obviously win our division is great. So I'm excited where we're at right now, and I'm excited to head into the postseason.
And also from an individual standpoint, how does it feel to bounce back after the game you had last night?
Feels great. I mean, honestly, I wasn't really too excited with my game last night, but we won. So I was happy we moved on to Miami. Obviously got a great win and a great team effort tonight. So I think we did well on both sides of the ball, and I'm just excited.
In this run of 16 wins in 18 games, you guys have been the #1 defense in the NBA. Why are you guys now what changed?
Just having pride on that end and being physical. We try to come into every game and bring physicality. I think everybody's done a great job of that and being able to talk on that end and being able to switch. And I feel like we can do pretty much everything defensively. So just being able to be versatile on that end is great for us.
What was the mindset of the team, PJ, when they cut the 25-point lead down to 8?
Just to keep playing, to take it one step at a time. Obviously, we know they're a great team over there, so we can't take them for granted even if we are up 22. So we had some mental lapses right there in the third quarter, but we had a great way to close it out, and I'm just glad we got a win tonight.
And how do you guys stay focused when the next meaningful game is the playoff game against the Clippers in about 10 days, 11 days?
For us, we have a goal, and nothing's going to stop that. So for us, that's our main focus, no matter who we're playing. So we're always hungry and excited for the next opportunity to go out there and play.
Before the game, you guys are warming up. You guys all wore the T-shirts. When did you find out about the T-shirt?
When I walked into the locker room, that was my first time seeing them. So for any of y'all who don't know what it means real MVP. So just credit to Luka for the season he's had. He's a special player, and I'm just excited to be able to play with him and watch his greatness each and every night. So he's a real MVP.
What was the reaction when those T-shirts came out? I mean, did you almost kind of feel like that was another team bonding situation?
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to wear them during the game, but they didn't let us. So, but everybody's excited to have his shirt for sure.
Piggyback on that, what are your thoughts on that? Because it seems like everybody around the NBA is talking about all the other top players in the NBA except Luka as far as being the MVP candidate.
I don't know why. I think his resume shows, and I think his resume is better than anybody else's resume. I don't feel like there's a complete argument for anybody to have a better season than him this year. So we were 5th in the West right now. We got 50 wins, and he's playing the best basketball on the planet right now, so he's the MVP.
MGM, Remix Sports Media. PJ, you have been a great acquisition to this team, heading into the postseason. What are some things you're looking to do out there on the floor to go ahead and help your teammates out on a nightly basis?
Being aggressive defensively, just trying to hit open shots, and just taking it one game at a time. Whatever coach asks me to do, I'm more willing and able to do that. So just trying to go out there and be a plus for my team in any way I can. Thank you, guys.
Southwest Division Champ Jason, how does that sound?
Sounds great. I think we can check the box on one goal and being able to achieve that. Again, on the back-to-back, I thought the offense was at a high level. We came out, we were aggressive. And then our defense, again, to be able to hold an NBA team, like the Heat under 100 points, just shows where our defense is right now.
What does that say about the team? When Luka got in foul trouble there in the first quarter, you were able to increase the lead at that time.
Yeah, I think it's just the trust and chemistry that we have. It's, when Luka got his third foul, there was no panic. We bring in Kai, and we extended the lead. We continue to play defense at a high level. Being able to work Josh back into the fold to be able to get his minutes. So there was a lot of positive things. We felt like we were in control of the game. Maybe for 5 minutes they took control, but I thought the response for our team, tonight on the back-to-back, just shows how far we've come since October.
Jones doing? I know he was holding his shoulder there lately.
I think he's fine. I think he's fine. I hope he's fine.
This was your 7th road win in the last 8 attempts and 9th in the last 11th. And your 25 road wins is the most since the championship team. What importance do you place on that, if at all, especially going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's just a special situation when you look at the overall from start to finish, and we're not done. We have 2 games left in the regular season, and then we'll prepare for the playoffs. But just from where we started, and then you look at the trade deadline to make a change. Sometimes the changes take a little bit longer, and then understanding the Western Conference and where that stands, and to achieve 50 wins here in the last 3 years, 2 out of the 3, we've done that, and so we're building something, and now it's just a matter of being healthy and continue to keep working on our habits.
Jason, is there an advantage to, you were going to get a week anyway, but is there an advantage to getting a few extra days, knowing what the matchup will be?
Yeah, I think being able to get some rest here, we'll look when we get home about Friday and then also Sunday and go from there. But then also we don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday, and we'll have to travel Friday or Saturday to who we're our next opponent. So, but it's good, to get some rest. But also sometimes you want to keep playing because of the rhythm and where we are as a team. But I think we've passed a lot of tests. The next test will be harder. But right now, to be able to rely on our defense and sharing the ball, I thought, again, the ball was moving. And just understand when other guys are getting shots, make or miss, just everyone's happy. So it's a great thing to see. But the rest is going to be important as we go forward here.
And we asked you pregame about Luka, why his MVP candidacy isn't a bigger deal. Not to repeat myself, but how is Daniel Gafford not missing a shot for weeks at a time? How is that not a bigger deal? Nobody's ever seen this before. How is this happening? How does he do 33 in a row and then 22 in a row and counting now?
Yeah, it's amazing what Gaff has done when you look at his ability, his catches and then finishes. And some of the finishes, he wasn't, just easy putbacks. He was falling down. I think just his confidence around the rim and in the paint is at a high level. The trust is at a high level. Being able to get offensive rebounds and to be able to put back and fight through some of the contact just shows how talented he is. But sometimes when you have like Luka and Kai, sometimes you are overshadowed by Chase and Wilt just a little bit. But I think he's going to chase Wilt for the rest of his career as long as he's with Kai and Luka. At some point, he should break it.
What were you guys able to do from a defensive standpoint, particularly there forcing 19 turnovers and 2 24-second violations there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, our defense is playing well. They're executing as coaches the game plan. They're doing it at a high level. The trust between the game plan and being able to execute it. They're taking it from the locker room and to the court. So right now, everybody's hearing the commands. We're protecting one another. I think that's one of the biggest things right now is the trust of help is there and continuing to keep playing. And again, our big group, I think we're with that starting group, we're 17-1, somewhere around there. And without Luka starting in one of those games. And so just understanding we're big and we're experienced in our length and using our length. And I thought tonight at the rim we got a lot of block shots from a lot of different guys. It just wasn't Gafford. It was D. Jones. It was PJ being able to cover up and help one another.
As Tim alluded, you now know that you'll be playing the Clippers. So in addition to the rest, I know you have 2 more regular season games left, but in addition to the rest, how about the advantage or at least knowing who you're going to be facing?
Yeah, I think the only advantage is probably the film room and the coaches knowing that they don't have to prepare video for the others 3 or 4 teams when you talk about 1, 2, and 3 if you were going to be in the 6th spot. And so that's the advantage. So the film room is happy that they can just focus on the Clippers and also the coaches. But I think before we get to the Clippers, we just have to continue to keep working on our habits, understand where our chemistry is at and our trust, and continue to keep making that stronger.
Coach, you've done a good job as a team holding Jimmy and Bam and just the Heat in general to kind of some ineffective games for their standards. You held them to 20 combined points today, and you held the Heat as a whole to, I think, about 12 shots at the rim, and they did not convert well at the rim or in the short mid-range. Was the game plan for you guys to kind of jam the middle for them and just in general pack the paint versus the Heat?
Yeah, well, we know they like to drive middle, and that's what, if you let them get middle, they're going to pick you apart, and they'll find their shooters. We were trying to keep some of those guys off the three-point line. We got to do a better job with Love. But just sending them to the rim, understanding with Gaff and PJ and Derek, that the guys, and Maxey, that we're big enough to contest, and we're also just trying to keep guys off the free throw line. That's one of the issues that we've had, is that we've been small where we can't protect the rim, and we've given up a lot of layups. But here of late, since the last time we played Miami, we've gotten really better, at the defensive end, and the trust has just grown since.
Coach, you're an NBA champion. What qualities do you see on this team that makes them a legit title contender?
Well, I think the biggest thing is their team. I know, and we talk about Luka and Kai a lot, but there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that makes this thing go. And so very similar to the 11 team. When you talk about Dirk and Jason Terry, they had a lot of older guys that didn't get the attention but knew their job and did their job at a high level. And it was just all about winning. And I think when you talk to these guys, it's all about winning. No one is into the stats. There will be some individual awards here for some of those guys that deserve it. But at the end of the day, it's all about team, and they care for one another.
I know it's a nice problem to have, but how do you expect you'll handle pretty much 10 days without a game that matters between now and game 1? I know you have the 2 left, Friday, Sunday. But then you get several days off, and teams haven't practiced a lot, obviously. Like, how do you stay sharp in that? And the Clippers will be dealing with the same thing. A lot of teams will be, but how does that gap work?
Yeah, I think, just understanding the All-Star break, we've gone through that, and we were playing well before the All-Star break, and we came out of the All-Star break and stumbled a little bit. So we'll talk about that. But also, we got to work and be prepared. There'll be some time off, but also there's going to be time where we can work on our mental side of the game to get better. So probably a lot of film, which guys sometimes don't like, but just being able to prepare for the Clippers mentally, and then being able to stay on the court and keep a rhythm, that will be the biggest thing.
Coach, congratulations for the victory.
Thank you.
JC Guerrero for Hispanic Sports Media. You are one of the best point guard players in the history, passing the ball, assistant players, and you represent all kind of players like John Stockton or Steve Nash. But what do you think about the new generation of point guards? Players like Luka Doncic, players like Stephen Curry, they changed the game. And what's your opinion about that? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. The game is in a great space right now when you talk about Luka and Steph. When you talk about the younger players, Anthony Edwards, the game is being played at a high level. Maybe there's not positions anymore. Everyone is 6'10", who can handle. Giannis can play point guard. But I think just the game, when you look at guys averaging 10 or 11 assists, they make the game easy. They're students of the game. And so, when you talk about those names, Curry and Luka, the game is in a great place. And passing, when you look at Luka, I'm spoiled to see him every day. He's always shown us something different, but he understands how to play the game the right way, uses the pass to help get what he wants, but also to help his teammates succeed. And so I think it's in a great place. Yeah.
MGM, Remix Sports Media. Coach, your team has been having a lot of success as of late. How much of that success as a unit can be credited to the energy and the sportsmanship coming from the bench on a nightly basis?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're truly believers of the energy. I think when you look at the bench, they are a big part of that because a lot of times as we talk about the starters or the star players, the energy of that bench is big, and they truly believe they have an impact in the game. And so they don't get a lot of the credit, but since you bring up a great question, it's a big part of our culture. It's about cheering for one another, and they truly believe Dante, Timmy, those guys cheer for the starters, and we talk about it. The starters cheer for those guys who come in for them, and that's what makes this team special.